Okay, so good day to everyone. Ang topic na i-discuss namin ngayon ay tungkol sa input and output devices. So, we are from BSE 32 at ang aming mga members ay sina Arvin Katana Ilagan, Enrico Marlu De Ronya, Patrick King, Zorin J. Pardo, Joshmer Barcelino Labios, at syempre ang aming best duo, Kyle Carlos Olpot and Mervin James Hamor. So muli i-discuss namin ang tungkol sa input and output devices. So ang mga topics covered namin, syempre unang-una, process variables, pangalawa, instrument devices used to control variables, at pangatlo, yung mga transducer at lahat ng mga under ng transducer, potentiometer, linear variable, pressure transducer, thermocouples, thermistors, strain gauge, accelerometers, tachometers, at humidity transducer. Kaya sana po makinig kayo sa aming report. Salamat po. Process variable. Process variable refers to crucial parameters monitored and controlled in industrial operations to ensure efficient manufacturing processes. These variables include pressure, temperature, flow, and level variables, each playing a crucial role in maintaining operational safety, quality standards, and process efficiency across various industrial sectors. Process variable in industrial operation. Industrial processes rely on various parameters known as process variables to ensure efficient and controlled manufacturing. So, talakayin natin yung una, pressure variable. Pressure is the force exerted perpendicular to the surface area of an object per unit area. In industrial settings, pressure sensor play a crucial role in regulating and monitoring pressure in diverse processes such as hydraulic system, chemical reactors, and pneumatic systems. They facilitate precise control, ensuring operational safety and efficiency. Next is temperature variable. Temperature signifies the degree of hotness and coldness of an environment. Industries, particularly in sectors like pharmaceutical, food processing, and metallurgy, prioritize temperature control to uphold the product quality and the safety standards. Next is flow variable. Flow refers to the movement of fluid or gases within a system. So the industries heavily rely on flow meters to monitor and optimize fluid flow rates in sectors including oil, gas, and water treatment. And the last variable is level variable. Level denotes the height of substance within a container or vessel. Maintaining consistent level is crucial in industries to prevent overflows, shortages, or operational disruption. So, sa conclusion natin, process variables are indispensable parameters in industrial operation, facilitating precise control, optimizing, and safety across the manufacturing processes. So, yung apat ulit nating variable pang review, pressure, temperature, flow, and level variable. Next topic is the instruments used to control variables. So, talakayin natin yung una, mechanical, electrical, and electronic instruments. Mechanical instruments rely on physical mechanisms such as gears, springs, or levers to measure and control variables like temperature, pressure, or level. Example nga nito yung mga pressure gauge at mechanical thermometers. Next is electrical instruments. Electrical instruments uses electrical signals to sense and change the variable and control processes. Example nga nito yung electrical temperature sensor o kaya naman yung mga flow meters. Next is electronic instruments. Sila yung more advanced and precise, relying on electronic circuits and sensor for measurement and automation. Example nga nito yung mga digital thermometer controllers or programmable logic controllers. Next is absolute or primary and secondary instruments. Absolute instruments directly measure the variable of interest without any need for conversion or interpretation. They provide direct readings of the process parameter being monitored such as temperature or pressure. Example nga nito yung mercury thermometer o kaya naman yung mga pressure transducer. Next naman, yung mga secondary instruments. Secondary instruments derive measurement from primary variable or signals. Kaya sila yung mga nagpo-provide ng additional functionalities like amplification or conversion. Kaya itong mga instruments na to ay nagre-require ng calibration or adjustment to ensure accuracy. Example nga nito yung mga signal converters or amplifiers. Next is manual and automatic instruments. So, self-explanatory na to. Manual require human control. Yung automatic naman, nag-ooperate siya ng mag-isa. Example nga nito, yung mga automatic control valves or programmable logic controllers. Next is self-operated and power-operated instruments. So, in self-operated instruments, sila yung nag-utilize ng energy of the process fluid itself for operation. So, they do not require external power sources. Example nga nito, yung mga self-operated pressure regulators. Yung power-operated instruments naman, sila yung nagre-require ng external power for operation. Example nga nito, yung mga pneumatic control system o kaya naman yung mga electrically actuated valves. Self-contained and remote indicating instruments. So, yung self-contained instruments, sila yung nag-integrate both sensing and display units into a single device. They provide local indication of process variables and are often used in applications where direct observation is required. Example nga nito yung mga digital temperature indicators or analog pressure gauge. Next naman sa remote indicating instruments. So sila yung nakaseparate the sensing and display units allowing for remote monitoring and control. They transmit process variable data to remote location, enabling operators to monitor processes from a distance. Example nga nito yung mga remote temperature sensor with digital display. Next is contact type and non-contact type instruments. Contact type instruments physically interact with the measured substance or environment. They require direct contact with the process medium to measure variables such as temperature, pressure, or level. Example nga nito yung mga thermocouples na madidiscuss mamaya, pressure transducer, or lever switches. Next naman yung mga non-contact type instruments. Sila yung mga hindi kailangan ng direct physical contact. So, they utilize technology such as infrared, ultrasonic, or laser sensors to measure temperature, distance, or other parameters. Example nga nito yung mga laser distance sensors. At sa panghuli, analog and digital instruments. Analog instruments provide continuous output signal proportional to the measured variable. They use analog indicators such as moving needles or analog display to represent process variables. Example nga nito yung mga temperature controllers, multimeter o kaya analog flow meter. At next naman, digital instruments. So itong digital instruments, kino-convert nila yung measurement sa numerical value. So they use digital display or electronic interfaces to present process variable data in numerical form. So example nga nito mga digital thermometer, digital process transmitter, or digital flow meter.
Users, a device that converts one form of energy into another. In particularly, it is commonly used to convert physical quantities like pressure, temperature, or sound into electrical signal or vice versa. Transducers play a critical role in the interface between the physical world and electronic system. Ang transducer ay isang aparato na nagko-convert ng isang anyo ng enerhiya papunta sa iba pang anyo. For example, From the exert voice that create sound energy converted into electrical energy through transducers. Sa madaling salita, sa pagsasalita mo sa microphone, then dadaan siya ang salita mo sa transducers, then papunta ang salita mo sa speaker, then dun siya magkakreate ng sound energy na lalabas sa may speaker. And there are two types of transducers. Una, primary transducers, the transducer which convert physical quantity into mechanical displacement. Example, thermometer. From temperature as a physical quantity na papuntang mechanical at mag-output ito ng degree Celsius na makukuha niyang temperature na lalabas dun sa may display. Then, pangalawang type ng transducer is secondary transducer, the transducer which convert mechanical displacement into electrical output. Example, piezoelectric. Ito ay isang phenomenon na kung saan ang mga material na ay nagge-generate ng electric charge na gumagana through mechanical stress. Potentiometers. It contains variable resistor to adjust the resistance in electrical or electronic circuits. Ang potentiometer ay isang uri ng variable resistor na ginagamit upang baguhin ang resistance ng electrical o electronic circuit. At mayroon itong sliding contact na tinatawag na wiper na gumagalaw sa isang resistive element at sa pamamagitan ng pag-ikot ng potentiometer knob na nakakonekta sa wiper, dun niya na-adjust ang resistance ng circuit. Karaniwang ginagamit ang potentiometer, una, sa pag-adjust ng power supplies. Ginagamit sa mga power supply upang mano-manong i-adjust ang output voltage sa pamamagitan ng pag-ikot ng knob ng potentiometer. Pangalawa, sa tuning or calibration. Sa mga elektronikong circuit, ginagamit ang potentiometer para sa tuning o calibration tulad ng pag-aayos ng frequency ng mga radio transmitter at receiver. Pangatlo is to dimmer the switches at lighting control. Sa mga ilaw, ginagamit ang potentiometer upang i-adjust ang liwanag para paliwanagin ng todo ang ilaw o palabuin ito dahil ayaw nila ng sobrang liwanag na ilaw. Sa madaling salita, ang potentiometer ay isang mahalagang component sa iba't ibang electronic at electrical devices dahil sa kakayahan nitong mag-adjust ng electrical parameters sa pamamagitan ng simpleng pag-ikot ng knob ng isang potentiometer.
Let's talk about the linear variable differential transformer or LVDT. Just like typical transformer, it consists of a primary coil and secondary coil. But the difference in linear variable differential transformer, it does consist of primary coil, two secondary coils, and a movable core. Its working principle is it converts linear displacement to electrical signal through the principle of electromagnetism. Its major application is precision measurements in industrial and aerospace application. Aerospace application involves the study of planets and making a satellite that uses this type of transformer. Its advantage is high accuracy, no contact wear, but its disadvantage is it very expensive and sensitive to temperature. It affects the major operation if the temperature is too low or too high. The pressure transducers. Its working principle is to convert pressure into an electrical signal. It has three known types: the strain gauge, capacitive, and a most common type, piezoelectric. Its application is industrial process control and automotive systems. Automotive systems involves the mechanism of a car and other transportation that we commonly use in our daily lives. Its advantage is a wide range, accurate, and also the temperature is the common disadvantage of this pressure transducer. It also requires calibration to operate this type of transducer.
Thermocouples. The principle behind the thermocouple is the Seebeck effect, discovered by Thomas Seebeck in 1821. When two different metals are joined together at one end and there is a temperature difference between the joined end, which is hot junction, and the other ends, which is the cold junction, a thermoelectric voltage EMF is generated. This voltage is proportional to the temperature differences and can be measured and converted into a temperature reading using calibration tables or equations. I gathered 6 types of thermocouples, which is type K, that temperature ranges from 200 degrees Celsius to 1372 degrees Celsius, type J, which has the temperature range from 40 degrees Celsius to 750 degrees Celsius, type T, temperature range from 200 degrees Celsius to 350 degrees Celsius, type E, temperature range from 200 degrees Celsius to 900 degrees Celsius, type N, temperature range from 200 degrees Celsius to 1300 degrees Celsius, and the last type is type S, R, and B, which is temperature range from 0 degrees Celsius to 1600 degrees Celsius. For the R is 0 degrees Celsius to 1600 degrees Celsius, and for the B is 0 degrees Celsius to 1700 degrees Celsius, used in high temperature application like steel and glass production. The advantages of thermocouples are wide range temperature, fast response time, rugged and durable, simple construction, and relatively low cost. While the disadvantage are nonlinear output requiring conversion, lower accuracy compared to other sensors like RTDs, resistant temperature detectors, susceptible to electrical noises, degradation of accuracy over time, especially at high temperatures. While the application is industrial processes, monitoring and controlling temperatures in furnaces, kilns, and engine, scientific research, measuring temperature in experiment and test, manufacturing, ensuring proper temperature condition in production processes, home appliances used in devices like ovens, water heaters, and thermostat. Last is aerospace and automotive, monitoring engine and exhaust temperature. And may gusto ko idagdag is one component na example ng thermocouple na na-encounter ko is TEG, stands for thermoelectric generators. Next is the resistance temperature detectors or RTD. Are temperature sensors that measure temperature by correlating the resistance of the element with temperature, typically made from pure platinum. RTD are valued for their high precision and stability. The resistance of the RTD increases with temperature in a predictable manner, allowing for accurate temperature measurement. The function is to operate on the principle that the electrical resistance of a metal changes predictably with temperature. When an electric current is passed through the RTD element, the resulting voltage drop can be measured and converted into a temperature reading. This relationship between resistance and temperature is well characterized, particularly for platinum, which follows a nearly linear and precise curve. For the application, RTD are used across various industries due to their accuracy and reliability. Common application includes such as industrial process control, monitoring and controlling temperature in chemical plants, refineries, and food processing industries, ensuring processes operate within specified temperature ranges to maintain product quality and safety. Second is HVAC system, used in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system to regulate and monitor ambient air temperatures. It ensures efficient and effective climate control in buildings. Third is automotive industry, measuring engine and exhaust temperature to optimize performance and reduce emission. Monitoring temperature in battery management system for electric vehicle. Fourth is aerospace, used in aircraft, engine, and environmental control system to ensure safe and optimal operation under varying conditions. Critical for monitoring temperatures in high altitude and extreme environments. Fifth is the medical devices, monitoring temperature in medical equipment such as incubators, sterilizers, and patient monitoring systems. Ensuring precise temperature control in sensitive medical procedure and equipment. 6 is laboratory equipment, precise temperature measurement in research and development settings used in calibration standards and environmental testing chambers. In every component, we have advantages and disadvantages. The advantages and disadvantages of RTD are high accuracy. RTD provide highly accurate temperature readings often within positive negative 0.1 degrees Celsius over a wide temperature range. Second is stability. RTDS offer excellent long-term stability and maintain accuracy over time. Third is repeatability. Consistent and repeatable readings make RTD suitable for precise application. Fourth is linearity. Platinum RTD in particular have a nearly linear resistance temperature relationship, simplifying the conversion from resistance to temperature. Last advantage is durability. RTD can operate in a wide range of environments and are robust against physical and chemical stresses, especially when properly protected. For the disadvantages is the cost. RTD are generally more expensive than other temperature sensors like thermocouples because gawa nga siya sa platinum. Second is response time. Due to their construction, RTD may have slower response time compared to thermocouples, especially in application requiring rapid temperature changes. Third is self-heating. The current passing through the RTD can cause self-heating, which can affect accuracy if not properly managed. Fourth is the fragility. Thin film and wire-wound RTD can be sensitive to mechanical shock and vibration, which may lead to damage or loss of accuracy. Last is the requires of calibration. For precise measurement, RTD require regular calibration to ensure accuracy.
So ano nga ba ang working principles of strain gauge? So, ang strain gauge ay gumagamit ng pagbabago sa electrical resistance para sukatin ang deformation ng isang bagay, bale ito ay humahaba kapag ito ay nahatak at sa ganon mag-iiba ito ng resistance. So, meron itong pattern na parang wave-like siya na gawa sa alloy. So, ang applications niya ay ito ay ginagamit sa mga construction para makakuha ng data katulad ng structural testing, load and pressure measurements, stress and force movements. So, lahat ng applications na related sa tension and under stress. So, ano nga ba ang advantages and disadvantages? So, ang advantages nito is syempre mura lang siya. So, accessible siya. So, isa pa ay nakakapag-detect ito kahit na maliliit na deformation. Ito ay matagal ang lifespan bago masira, kaya matatawag natin ito na reliable. Ito ay pwedeng i-integrate sa mga digital devices para makapag-monitor siya ng mas accurate. So, ang disadvantages naman niya ay napaka-complex niya na pag-install at sirain siya at hindi siya matibay dahil sa mga weather conditions katulad ng tag-init. Isa pa ay dahil sa tag-init ito ay hindi nakapag-ibigay ng tamang measurements. Pangatlo ay yung interference ng signal noise at hindi ito nakapagbigay ng accurate na reading. So, dahil hindi siya nakapagbigay ng accurate na reading dahil sa mga tag-init dahil syempre gawa siya sa alloy. So humahaba yung mismong device. So, mas humahabang resistance. So, meaning to say na mag-iiba talaga ang data readings nito. So, ano nga ba ang accelerometers? Ang accelerometer ay isang sensor na sumusukat ng acceleration gamit ang iba't ibang teknolohiya tulad ng piezoelectric, capacitive, at MEMS. Karaniwan itong ginagamit sa mga smartphone o cellphone at iba pang elektronikong aparato para sa screen orientation at motion sensing. Ito ay isang device na mayroong spring sa loob na kapag ito ay nag-accelerate, magka-compress siya at ito ay nagbibigay ng reading sa screen. So, ang applications nito ay pwede mai-apply sa mga kotse dahil kapag nakapag-detect ito ng sudden na paghinto ng sasakyan, mag-send siya ng signal sa airbag na ito ay dapat i-deploy para maprotektahan ang pasahero at driver. Sunod ay sa mga dahil sa ay gumagamit ng device na dinedetect ang kanilang bilis at layo ng tinakbo nila para may monitor din kung gaano karami ang yung nabawas nilang calories. Isa pang application ay yung sa medical na parang airbag, yung sa mga biglang nagko-collapse. Meron nakaimbento na parang neck pillow and hip pillow na kapag na-detect na ito na mabilis na pagkahulog, magkakaroon ng airbag na nakapalibot sa kanilang para maiwasan ng injury. Ang advantage nito ay nakakapagbigay ng real-time data Ito ay mahalaga lalo na sa mga sasakyan. Pangalawa ay compact at lightweight siya. Kapag mabilis siya ay integrate sa mga bagay. So, ang sunod ay hindi siya nagkokonsumo ng malaking kuryente kaya't hindi ito magastos din. So, ang mga disadvantages naman ay kailangan constant ang pag-calibrate nitong bagay kasi minsan nalilito ang device sa pagkuha ng data. Isa pa ang problema ay limitado lang ang pag-sense ng acceleration kaya kapag ito ay lumagpas ng limit, baka ito ay masira o ma-damage.
Is a device used to measure the rotational speed of an object, typically a sharp or a disc in revolutions per minute or RPM. The working principle of a tachometer depends on its type, which can be broadly classified into mechanical, electrical, and optical tachometers. In mechanical tachometers, it consists of dial, needle, and a flexible drive shaft connected to the rotating object. Its working principle: as the shaft rotates, it drives the mechanical components of the tachometer, causing the needle to move across a calibrated scale, indicating the RPM. Common types include centrifugal force-based tachometers, where rotating weights move outward and compress a spring as speed increases. Next is electrical tachometers. In AC tachometers, comprises an AC generator connected to the rotating object. Its working principle: the rotating shaft drives the generator, producing an AC voltage proportional to the rotational speed. The output voltage is measured and converted to RPM. In DC tachometers, consists of DC generator or a pulse counter. Its working principle: the rotating shaft drives a generator that produces a DC voltage proportional to the speed. Alternatively, a pulse counter measures the frequency of pulses generated by the rotation, which is proportional to the RPM. Next is optical tachometers. Include the light source, a photodetector, and reflective or interruptive marks on the rotating object. Its working principle: the tachometer emits a beam of light that reflects off marks on the rotating object or is interrupted by slats. The photodetector senses the reflections or interruptions and converts these signals into electrical pulses. The frequency of these pulses corresponds to the rotational speed, which is then displayed as RPM. The application of tachometers. Automotive industry. Monitoring engine RPM to ensure optimal performance and prevent over-revving. Manufacturing. Measuring the speed of machinery to maintain consistent production rates. Aviation. Monitoring the speed of aircraft's engines and rotors. Marine. Measuring the speed of ship engines and turbines. Research and development. Analyzing the performance of rotating devices and systems. HVAC systems. Monitoring fan and blower speeds to ensure efficient operations. Next is the advantages of tachometers. Accuracy. Provides precise measurements of rotational speed. Real-time monitoring. Offers immediate feedback on the speed of rotating objects. Versatility. Available in various types to suit different applications and environments. Non-contact options. Optical tachometers allow for non-contact measurements, reducing wear and tear. Durability. Mechanical tachometers are robust and can operate in harsh conditions. Next is the disadvantages of tachometers. Sensitivity to interferences. Electrical and optical tachometers can be affected by electrical noise and ambient light. Maintenance. Electrical tachometers may require regular calibration and maintenance. Installation complexity. Sometimes can be challenging to install, especially in tight or complex environments. Cost. High precision tachometers can be expensive. Lastly, the environmental limitations. Optical tachometers may not work well in dirty or dusty environments where the light path can be obstructed. Humidity transducer, also known as humidity sensor or hygrometer, is a device that measures the moisture content in the environment. The working principle of humidity transducers typically involves the measurement of changes in electrical properties such as capacitance or resistance, or the physical properties of material in response to moisture levels. Capacitive humidity sensors consist of hygroscopic dielectric material placed between two conductive plates. The working principle when the moisture from the air is absorbed by the dielectric material is dielectric constant changes, altering the capacitance of the sensor. This change in capacitance is measured and converted into humidity reading. Resistive humidity sensors utilize materials whose electrical resistance changes with humidity. The working principle when the sensor is exposed to air and as the humidity level changes, the resistance of the hygroscopic material changes. This variation in resistance is measured and converted into corresponding humidity level. Thermal conductivity humidity sensors consist of thermistor or a pair of thermistors. The working principle when the sensor measures the difference in thermal conductivity of dry air and versus humid air, this difference correlates with the humidity levels and is used to determine the moisture content. Lastly is the optical humidity sensors. Utilize light to measure humidity. The working principle when there is a changes in humidity can cause variations in the refractive index or light absorption of certain materials. The sensor detects these changes and correlates them with humidity levels. These are the following applications of humidity transducer: HVAC system to control and monitor the humidity levels for comfort and energy efficiency. Industrial processes in manufacturing environments where specific humidity levels are crucial for product quality. Meteorology to measure atmospheric humidity for weather forecasting. Agriculture to monitor soil moisture and ambient humidity for optimal crop growth. Medical devices in respiratory equipment to ensure proper humidification. Food storage and transportation to maintain appropriate humidity levels to preserve food quality. Next is the advantages of humidity transducers. High accuracy. Modern humidity transducers provide precise measurements, wide measurement range, capable of detecting a broad range of humidity levels. Reliability. Generally robust and provide consistent performance over time. Low maintenance. Required minimal upkeep compared to some other types of sensors. Integration. Easily integrated with other sense systems for automated control and monitoring. Next is the disadvantages of humidity transducers. Sensitivity to contaminants. Dust, chemicals, or other contaminants can affect sensor accuracy. Calibration drift. Over time, some sensors may drift and require recalibration. Temperature dependence. Some types may have performance variations with changes in temperature. Initial cost. High precise humidity sensors can be expensive. Lastly, the response time. Some sensors may have a slower response time in changing humidity conditions.